And here we are back with author and mystery writer David Krugler. It's so much fun talking to you, David. In preparation for your novel, I know you're a historian, you do a lot of research. When you were researching this time period, World War II, is there anything that you found in your research that was difficult in bringing back to the present, or anything that you learned?
I learned some really interesting facts about Washington, D.C. during World War II. Young people were arriving from all over the country, especially young women. They were answering ads in newspapers to work as typists, stenographers, clerks. Sometimes they arrived at Union Station on the train in Washington, D.C., and they got assignments to go to boarding houses and their jobs that very day upon arrival. Can you imagine that happening today?
No, not at all. It's like you get off the train and here's your new job.
Right, in a city you've never been to before.
Did you relay any of that to your students?
I try to bring it up, and a part of my job as a historian is to get students excited about a time and place they've never known, as well as to do the basic tasks of teaching history. So that's been kind of fun to do that as a fiction writer and then see how I can use that in the classroom.
It's got to be a challenge, though, too, because of all the luxuries we have today with cell phones and texting, and we can just easily get a message that way. But when you're writing a spy thriller, you don't have all of this technology that you have today.
Right, and a big part of the novel is about Ellis going undercover. He's got an assumed identity. He can't call his superior officer directly, so I have him call a certain number, and it's supposed to be an apartment hotel, which itself is a relic of an old era apartment hotels, and the guy who answers gives him a certain response, and then he knows, Ellis knows, that his superior officer will be meeting him an hour later in a predetermined location. So it was fun to do the research on that and figure out how to fold that into the story.
Have you given any thought to transferring this or transforming this into a screenplay? Because it sounds like a Hollywood blockbuster, right? That I'd be watching in a movie theater.
It would be great to see it on the screen someday, or even as a miniseries. I haven't given that a lot of thought, but if that opportunity presents itself, I'll have plenty of suggestions for the casting director on who can play Ellis and the other characters.
Who would play Ellis?
Well, I think Matt Damon would be a great choice, but he's done Bourne, so maybe he's been typecast, and we'd need a fresh face. Maybe Chris Pine's available these days when we get going.
We can make a call. We can definitely. We'll do that for you.
He's watching right now.
I hope so. Chris Pine. It was a pleasure meeting you. Thank you so much, David.
Andre, it was great to be here. Thank you for
having me.
Best
of luck. Your next novel, part 2 in the series,
hopefully
next
we'll
year?
be done next year.
Okay, good. We'll look forward to that, and we'll have you back to talk about that.
Thank you so much.